Welcome to the March edition of Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. My name is Henry Rhode, and joining me today is Dennis DeJesus, CEO of Special Olympics Rhode Island. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Henry.
Dennis, can you tell us about some of the Special Olympic events, competitions that took place so far this year?
We're off to a great start in 2016. It started on January 1st with our Penguin Plunge. Great event, one of the highest revenue-generating events we've had with our plunge. We made over $90,000 in support of the great athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So we're off to a great start. Competition-wise, basketball is in full go with basketball, and it's an opportunity for us to make sure we lay the foundation financially for a very, very strong start of our season, because we know that when spring comes around, another couple of weeks we'll be in spring mode, this organization really takes off with a variety of different sporting opportunities outdoors, leading into our summer games on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yep.
So we're off to a great start in 2016, Henry.
That is great. Can you tell me about your plan for Special Olympics Rhode Island Import Council?
The Athlete Input Council?
Yes.
That's going to be the first of its kind. We're going to try to identify about 50 to 60 athletes in our program to serve on a leadership council. I want to meet with them once a month to go over a variety of different issues. I want to hear from them. I want to hear about the needs of the athletes out in the community. I want to know what their feelings are about our competitions, about summer games, about the sports that we offer. And we're going to talk about fundraising too. It's time that we talk a little bit about fundraising and putting the fundraising piece a little bit more responsibility on our athletes. So the Athlete Leadership Council, between 50 and 60 athletes, we're going to meet once a month, and we want to hear from them. What's working? What's not working? What do we need to improve upon? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? And no one can better articulate that than the great athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So we're looking forward to the Athlete Leadership Council. It's going to be chaired by two of our board members. Megan Miller and Ian Shepard will chair. Maria Ellen Powers will have a major role, a parliamentarian, secretary. So we're ready to go. It's just a matter of identifying those athletes and setting up our very, very first meeting.
That is
and
great.
I'm hoping that you're going to join us too on that council.
I hope to.
You should be. You should be there.
What is Advance the Mission?
Advance the Mission is something that I thought about throughout the winter in preparation for 2016. I'm challenging everybody in this organization to get more actively involved. I'm challenging our staff. I'm challenging our athletes. I'm challenging our board of directors. I'm challenging our volunteers. We have an outstanding program in Rhode Island, one of the best programs in the country. I just got back from Washington. People rave about the great work we do in Rhode Island. But in my estimation, we can do better. We can do more. What other opportunities are out there for our athletes? What can we do to expand our program, get more athletes involved in our program? And I think the Leadership Council really ties into the Advance the Mission slogan that we've put on 2016. So again, challenging our staff. What can we do more? What can we do better? Challenging our board of directors. How can they do a little bit more on the fundraising end, policy-wise? And believe you me, we have a great staff. We have great board of directors. We have great athletes, family members. Our community is outstanding. But I think we need to raise the bar a little bit more, get a little bit more active in our fundraising, a little bit more active in policy, a little bit more active in programming, all in an attempt to give our athletes more opportunity.
That's great. I know Freezing for a Reason weekend is a big event in March. Can you tell me about the plunges that were taking place that weekend?
Absolutely. I believe there are 3 separate plunges that are going to take place on the weekend of March 19th and March 20th. Let's talk first about our high school and middle school plunge on March 19th, which is a Saturday, 12 noon. We are encouraging all the schools in our Project Unified community to send a group of students down to plunge on that particular day in support of Special Olympics. It's a fundraiser. We need to raise money. So as a matter of fact, before I came to the studio today, I met with our middle school coaches, and I'm going to be meeting with our high school coaches later on this evening. March 19th, 12 noon, all of the plunges are taking place at the Salty Bryan Beach, which is right in back of George's in Galilee, down by the Block Island Ferry. So it's a weekend. That's number one plunge. Second plunge, torch run plunge. Police, fire, correction officers. This will take place on Sunday, March 20th. I believe 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock p.m. And again, another opportunity for people who just love Special Olympics. Come down, plunge, set up an online giving page, talk to your family and friends, ask them to donate. All proceeds benefit Special Olympics Rhode Island. And probably the one I'm most proud of, we have a group of people 9 people who I've signed up to do the Super Plunge. The Super Plunge, you plunge every hour, on the hour, 24 hours around the clock.
Yeah, it starts at 12 noon on the 19th, and it ends at 12 noon on the 20th.
I believe it starts at 1 o'clock on the 19th.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
and
good.
it ends at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock on the 20th.
That is real good. Wow.
Now, those 9 people who have committed to do this are raising each $5,000.
Wow.
So we're looking at in excess of $45,000 on behalf of the athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island.
That's incredible.
This comes out of our torch run committee. Eric Leclerc, Elwood Johnson, I'm sure you know those names.
Yep.
Other leaders, Jim Cummings has been with us on this, a great volunteer of Special Olympics. But this year, it started out with one person 4 years ago, Elwood Johnson.
Yes,
it then grew to 3, then to 5. This year, 9 super
And they added
plunges.
they added the policeman from East Providence too.
Correct, Tammy David.
Yeah.
So, this is an opportunity for people who are watching this show. If you're not a plunger, you don't want to jump in the water that day, send along a donation in support of our high school, middle school plunge, our torch run plunge, and of course, our super plungers.
Wow. I hear you at Billy Gilman conference is going to be held in. How can someone get tickets to that?
I think we're all excited about this one. This was staff generated. 2 of our staff members, Sam Cornell and Robin DeRobio, came to me with an idea. We're not doing the fashion show this year. Why don't we do something different? And Billy Gilman agreed. Country singer Billy Gilman, very famous. Very famous. Rhode Islander, has agreed to perform in support of Special Olympics Rhode Island. April 24th, it's a Sunday, 5 o'clock p.m., Mishnock Barn, which is in West Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Wow.
That'll be the site for this year's concert with Billy Gilman. Tickets are very, very affordable. You can contact Special Olympics Rhode Island if you're looking for tickets. The barn holds about, I believe, 750 people.
Wow.
We want to sell it out. We want to fill the barn in support of Billy, who is supporting the great athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. And again, I want to commend Sam and Robin from my office who came up with this idea. And we're grateful to them for the idea of thinking outside the box of an event that will support Special Olympics Rhode Island.
Who's sponsoring that event?
I'm glad you brought that up. Bank Rhode Island.
That's
to our
great.
great friends at Bank Rhode Island, Patty Saracino, Jamie DaCosta, Manny Barrows, have always been supportive of the athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. I want to thank Bank RI for coming forward and being the lead sponsor on this event, getting the ball rolling, and again, special thanks to Billy Gilman. He's known worldwide, great singer, great voice, and on Sunday, April 24th at 5 p.m., He's going to be singing to support the great athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So I invite all of our Special Olympics Rhode Island community to come down and watch the concert. I'm sure you'll go away very pleased.
Yep. We think who you like to anybody that's like to say hi to?
Yeah, I need to give a shout out to my Aunt Philly. My Aunt Philly is recovering and underwent she had some tough times, difficult times physically, but she's recovering now, and she never misses the show. So I need to give a shout out to my Aunt Philly. Get well.
We'll be back with Special Olympics Max. We thank you for being on the show. We hope you'll come again, and we'll see you in the coming weeks and coming months in Special Olympics.
Thanks, Henry. Always good to see you.
We'll be back with more Special Olympics Magazine through the exciting messages.
Hi, welcome back to Special Olympics Magazine. Hi, my name is Mary Irons. Joining me now is my co-host, Mary Ellen Powers, who recently traveled to Washington, D.C. for Capitol Hill Day. Welcome to the show, Mary Ellen.
Thank you, Mary.
What is Capitol Hill Day, and what was your role there?
Capitol Hill Day is where Special Olympic athletes go to Washington, D.C., up onto Capitol Hill, and we meet with our senators, congressmen, and state representatives, and we talk about the importance of funding for Special Olympics.
How many meetings did you attend, and who did you meet with?
I met with Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Jack Reed, Congressman David Cicilline, and Congressman Jim Langevin.
What did you talk about in your speeches?
I talked about the importance of funding for Special Olympics, and the two most important topics that we need to address is education and healthcare. And in my conversation about education, I talked about how there's still bullying that goes on in schools, and how through programs like Project Unify, we need to and youth activation committees that fall under Project Unify, we need to keep those programs running stronger. In order to keep the programs running, we need the funding to support it.
True.
And with the conversation about healthcare, I talked about how important it is for us as athletes to keep up with our doctor's appointments. And some athletes don't have doctors. Some athletes don't have health insurance. And some athletes use their healthy athlete screenings at our state summer games as their annual appointment. So we need to keep funding strong so we can try to get them health coverage, so we can get them a doctor they can see more than once a year.
Who else did you meet at Capitol Hill Day?
I had the honor of meeting Mary Davis, who is the new acting CEO of Special Olympics. And she's from Ireland, and I remembered her from the World Summer Games in Ireland years ago. And she's an amazing lady, had a nice Irish brogue, which is another word for accent.
True.
I also saw Tim Shriver, and he even attended my meeting with Senator Whitehouse, and that was great to see them, and especially meeting other athletes. You know, one thing I enjoy about having the honor of attending Capitol Hill Day is meeting other athletes from other states. True. And hearing their stories and making new friends.
What was your favorite memory of Capitol Hill Day?
I enjoy the whole experience, but I'd have to say the fact that I overcame a personal achievement for myself. I typically, when I give speeches, I need notes in front of me sometimes. True. And I even prepared ahead of time. Like I wrote out my speech so I would know what to say. But all 4 of my meetings, I didn't need my notes. And in my first meeting of the day, Tim Shriver was there, so I was a little nervous at first, but I got through that meeting successfully and without notes. That was a personal achievement for me. And also at the end of the day, I was invited to speak in front of everyone that attended Capitol Hill Day and talk about my experience. And that was at the Library of Congress, and that was an amazing experience. It was incredible. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Mary.
We'll be right back right after these messages.
Hi, welcome back to Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. My name is Megan Miller, and joining me today is music artist Billy Gilman. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. When did you start singing?
I started singing technically before I really could speak. I was in my little high chair singing the theme to the Jeopardy show. So really, there's not been ever like a moment where I can't remember not singing. So literally since I was born.
How old were you when you made your first appearance?
My first appearance, as I got more confident knowing that I could sing and it was different, like my friends couldn't do what I did, I started to like sing in school for, there's a thing, I don't know if schools still do it, but when I was 5 and 6 in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they did a thing called show and tell. And instead of bringing in a favorite car or a favorite thing, I would bring my little machine and I would sing for the class. So like 5, 6 years old, I think. And I don't think my classmates were like, oh God, here he goes. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah. What did it feel like to make records at the age of 11?
At that time, I really didn't pay attention to like the big, I didn't grasp the whole concept of how big it was. I was just going into a studio doing what I loved to do ever since I was even littler than 11. So it was almost like a game, like it was my fun time, even though I always took it seriously. You know, it was crazy looking back now to think that I was that young and did it with as much professionalism as I did. You know, I was just being me, you know, but looking at it now as an adult, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Are you excited to be part of the Special Olympics Rhode Island?
Absolutely. It's amazing to lend my voice to such a worthy cause and having it be, you know, in my own backyard. It's very important. You know, it's a hometown situation, and that's always fun to me. So I'm very excited.
Throughout your career, you have contributed to a number of charities. Can you tell us some of those charities?
Yeah, I've always felt it important. You know, it's not every day that someone from a little state gets to travel the world and sing and do what they like to do. You know, you always have to sometimes just do what you have to do to get to a better situation. Yeah. You know, I've been very blessed, and I'm almost, if you will, at an advantage where I can use my voice in a much louder, no pun intended, way to raise money or to raise awareness for causes that I believe in. And so I've been involved with Marlo Thomas at St. Jude. One of my great friends is Jerry Lewis. I was with the muscular dystrophy telethon and muscular dystrophy activities for 11 years. Raised almost $2.5 million for them.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's very special to me to be involved with these amazing charities that create such amazing opportunities for people.
That's awesome. What inspires you to do so much good work?
Like I said, you know, it's bigger than any of us. You know, there's a need out there for people that can't, you know, have their own voice in a way.
Yeah.
So, and you know, it's funny because when I meet, say for instance, a patient at the hospital, or I meet a family that we're profiling on the telethon, and their daughter or their son has a specific neuromuscular disease and they can't walk on their own, or what have you, they become your little sister or your little brother or your big brother or your aunt, or you know, you become so attached that it almost feels like you're fighting for family.
Yeah.
So it's important to lend your voice, because it's greater than your own problems, you know.
That's wonderful. What can we expect at your show on April 24th?
Oh, the show. Yes, April 24th. By the way, you can get the tickets on eventbrite.com. I was told I wouldn't be allowed to leave the studio if I didn't say that. I'm kidding. April 24th should be fun. I've always tried to put my own songs in shows, of course, because that's what people want to hear. I'll never forget I was going to see a very, very well-known singer, and I knew their career, but I really wanted to hear this one song, one of their biggest songs, and they didn't do it. and I never forgot the disappointment.
Yeah, bummed. I get it.
So
yeah.
I always do, One Voice in Oklahoma and all those things. But and I like to do them. It's fine. But there'll also be some new songs that you wouldn't think that I would do. Some Journey, some Adele, some...
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. My band is located out of Boston. I have a Boston-based band. I call them New England guys, and they are awesome. And they're going to be with me that night, and they're so amazing. And they love to grow with me. They love to try new songs. Like you wouldn't, expect a country singer to do, Rolling in the Deep by Adele, but it rocks and it's awesome. Or a Maroon 5, and they like to grow and explore with me, which makes it constantly a new thing. It's not the same old repetitive thing. You're trying new things, and it's fun for me too, because you always have to do the songs that you've done 10 million times.
Yeah.
So it's nice to put a couple of new songs in that doesn't make it so repetitive.
Yeah. How can our viewers purchase tickets for the show on April 24th?
They put that in there. You can go to eventbrite.com, and then at the search engine, just type my name in, Billy Gilman, and it should pop right up. Yeah, it's easy as that. So eventbrite.com.
Awesome. You were just awarded the 2015 Rhode Island Icon Award. How did that feel?
That was kind of a crazy thing. I mean, I don't think, an Icon Award is kind of, no. I can see myself at maybe 70 getting that award, but I'm a little young for it. But I was very honored. To be recognized in any fashion is wonderful, because, this kind of a career, any kind of a career has its challenges, but you're faced with a lot of criticism and a lot of critiquing and a lot of support, don't get me wrong. So to be, honored by your home state makes it all the more special, because you always try to make your own team proud, whether it be your creative team or your home state team, the team rooting for you. So it was a wonderful thing to be awarded by my home state of Rhode Island. It was special to me.
That is awesome. And what's ahead for you in the coming year?
More concerts. We're doing some shows in California, Lexington, Kentucky, so all over the place, and a possible very, very fun endeavor that I can't speak about right yet, but if all goes according to plan, it should be very interesting. So stay tuned, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. I'm excited.
Great. If there was one message you could tell our viewers, what would it be?
Dare to dream. Whether it be a singer, I mean, who would ever think a little kid from Rhode Island would be able to do what I've done, and I'm very honored and grateful for all the opportunities. Whether you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher, or a parent even, a parent has its, ups and downs too. Just dare to dream. Go that extra mile, because the reward is unbelievable. We're all worth it.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, this was easy. You're awesome. Thank you, Megan. Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back to Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Powers. Joining me now is Susan Gibbrey, who is the Young Athletes Coordinator. Welcome to the show, Sue.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. What is Young Athletes?
Young Athletes is a sports play program for children with intellectual disabilities ages 2 to 7.
Okay. Now, how many years have you been involved with the program, and how did you get involved?
I have been involved since 2011. The program came about. I was doing an internship for grad school, and I thought, something with Special Olympics would be, ideal for what I was trying to fulfill, and this program was brought to my attention. So basically, we started it from the ground up in Smithfield. So it was a program based on a school-based program, and we were taking it and making it an activity for a weekend day. So we brought it to Smithfield, and we pulled students from the Smithfield area, and then a little bit from Johnston and Cranston. Anyone that is basically interested is able to come down to our Saturday program.
Oh, okay. Now, what types of activities and sports do the athletes learn?
So we learn fundamentals and skills of mainly the sports that Special Olympics does. So we focus mostly on soccer, and we'll do a little bit of baseball in the spring. We do running, hockey, and then we do fun activities like you would have in gym class. A parachute is a favorite. We'll do obstacle courses. So we learn skills of running and kicking the ball and throwing a ball, and we actually do basketball as well. So we try to get a lot in a small amount of time, but just teaching the basic skills so when the athletes turn the age of 8 and they can join a team through Special Olympics, they at least have like the base knowledge of the different sports that we offer.
That's good, and I like how you have the basics of it too. So you're introducing the sports that they'll eventually do. Right,
and we keep it's simple. We don't have plays, and we don't have it's basics: how to kick a ball, how to catch a ball, how to throw a ball. So it's fun, and it's a 45-minute long class, and each week we try to do something different. But we also repeat, for 10 minutes what we did the previous class to keep it fresh.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now, how many athletes participate in each class?
So we offer different sessions. So we were doing 2 sessions on a Saturday and 1 on a Wednesday. So to keep it, we keep it small. So we keep 10 athletes in a class. Just we want to really be able to touch all of them and make sure they all know what they're doing, and we don't want it overcrowded. So it's very important that we keep it to our limit of 10 per session. So we have 2 sessions this spring, and it will be Saturdays and Wednesdays. So they're 1 45-minute session for each day. So we can have basically 20 kids this spring.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yep.
Now, how many did you have when you first started?
We started out with one athlete. The first day that we started the program, we had 1 athlete walk through the door. And we weren't sure how it was going to go. And then, year 2, we have 30 athletes.
Wow.
And so it's growing. We had to take the fall off, but we're rebuilding. A lot of our athletes were aged out, so we're rebuilding, and we're inviting all new athletes to join us.
Well, that's great. Now, can you tell me how athletes participate at the area games and summer games?
Sure. We are invited to the Bryant area games, and it's this May. So both Wednesday and Saturday, we go. We're a team. The Smithfield Young Athletes, we're a team. So we go and we do 2 different competitions. We do a softball throw, so they throw for distance, and we do a 50-meter dash. And everyone wins, and it's a great little day, and they get to see what Special Olympics is about. We're inviting them to this great event so they can see what the future holds for them.
That's good.
And then the summer games, we go up to URI every May, and we actually lead the parade of athletes for opening ceremonies, which is a really fun thing.
Oh, and I can imagine what they think at their age is marching into the opening ceremonies.
It's pretty amazing, and everyone knows once you go once, you go every year. So it's an amazing experience. So that's just that ends our season. So it's really nice.
Oh, good. Now, when does the next Young Athletes program start, and how can someone get information about it?
The next program starts March 12th.
Okay.
And to register for more information, call the Special Olympics office at 349-4900, and you can get information. You can check out the Special Olympics Rhode Island website. I know the dates and the flyer on there, and you can email the coach that's running Saturday or Wednesday to register.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Sue.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Be sure to tune in next month for another great edition of Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine.